Take a look at these cities from above. One is shaped like a compass, every road radiating from a single point. Another stretches in perfect symmetry, like someone printed a spreadsheet onto the land. Some cities twist around old harbors and rivers, while others rise straight up over impossible terrain. Across the United States, no two cities are designed the same, and every layout tells a story of history, ambition, faith, and even stubbornness. Today, we're looking at the cities whose street plans break every rule, yet somehow define what makes America's urban landscape so fascinating. These are the most unique city layouts in the United States. Boston looks like it was built by accident, and honestly, it kind of was. When settlers arrived in the 1600s, there was no urban plan. Roads simply followed cow paths, hills, and the curve of the harbor. That's why downtown Boston still feels like a maze. Intersections that meet at 5 points, streets that double back, and names that change halfway through. But move west toward Back Bay, and everything shifts. Clean, rectangular blocks built on land that used to be underwater. From the sky, you can literally see the timeline. Colonial chaos fading into industrial age order. 1,000 miles away sits a city that's the total opposite. Salt Lake City was designed before the first house was built. Every block carefully measured. Founded by Mormon pioneers in 1847, its streets form enormous 660-foot squares, the largest city blocks in America. They were intentionally that wide, so a wagon team could turn around without unhitching. From above, it looks algorithmic, wide, bright, evenly spaced. It's what happens when faith, function, and geometry meet on the open frontier. San Francisco's planners looked at the hills and said, "Let's ignore them." In the 1840s, they forced a flat grid onto a city that's anything but flat. Streets climb 30-degree slopes, dead end at cliffs, and twist where they can't go straight. Lombard Street, the famously crooked road, exists because the grid was too steep for horses. From a distance, the city looks perfectly organized. Get closer, and it's geometry in battle with geology, somehow still beautiful. Manhattan takes city planning to another level. In 1811, officials drew up the Commissioner's Plan, a grid of 12 north-south avenues and more than 150 cross streets. It was one of the boldest urban experiments ever, predictable, expandable, and surprisingly livable. But here's what makes it iconic: Broadway. That one diagonal rebel slices through the grid, creating Times Square, Columbus Circle, and Union Square, the city's most famous intersections. From the air, Manhattan is hypnotic. Perfect order interrupted by just enough chaos to make it human. From space, it looks like a starburst, a city designed to impress both citizens and foreign visitors. L'Enfant wanted people to feel democracy through design, and over 2 centuries later, it still works. And then there's Washington, D.C., the only American city intentionally built to symbolize an idea. In 1791, French architect Pierre L'Enfant laid out broad diagonal boulevards crossing a rigid grid. Every major avenue points towards something important: the Capitol, the White House, the Lincoln Memorial. These 5 cities prove there's no single blueprint for America. Some grew out of history, others out of vision. But everyone shows how design choices shape daily life. So next time you fly over a city, pay attention to its pattern. You might be looking at a story that's hundreds of years old, written one street at a time.